Hi, I'm Marty from AV Shorts. This episode is not about any particular product, but it's about how to use the products that you've got in the room. So have you ever sat in a presentation and strained to read the numbers that are up on the screen, and the presenter goes, "Oh, I'm really sorry for the eye chart." Well, it's not your fault, it's the fault of that presenter. So usually what's happened is the presenter sat at their desk, created the presentation with their display about 24 inches in front of them, and used the default font of 11. That close, yeah, it's easy to see every number that's up there. At 20, 50, or 500 feet away, yeah, not so much. But we can math the hell out of this for any room with the rule of 150 and a little bit of other math as well. So the rule of 150, what it states is that I can take the height of any character, multiply it by 150, and that gives me my maximum viewing distance or the furthest viewer from the screen. In reverse, you could take the distance of the furthest viewer in an existing room, divide that by 150, and that'll give you your character height. So for this room here, I've already measured it, it's 40 feet, or about 480 inches. So I'm going to divide 480 by 150. Trust me, the character height ends up being 3.2 inches high. Well, cool, Marty, but my font size is in inches, not in points. Well, fun fact, in Microsoft, 1 point equals 1 little pixel. So that 11-point font that's up there is actually 11 pixels high. So that's good to know. So let's take some of this math, and let's take it out for a spin. Let's do the math forward and then reverse. So I already made my presentation with a font size of 11. So how far away can people see this? So I need to know, how high is that character on this particular screen? So here's where we start, just a simple ratio thing. Now I already measured my screen, it's 78 inches high. I know the projector is 1080p, so it's 1080 pixels high. And I already know that the font size is 11. So just fill it in. Whenever you have an equation like this, you know what to do. You cross multiply and divide. So there's a cross multiply, divide, end up character height is 0.79 inches, an 11-point font on this screen. So using the rule of 150, I know that the furthest viewer should be about 119 inches, or say roughly 10 feet. And all the math works in metric too, it doesn't matter. So in this room, that gets me to about the first row. So that's just not going to work beyond that. And 11-point font in this room would be cruel and unusual punishment for anybody past the first row. And you wonder why people fall asleep in presentations, or they just don't understand it. All right, let's do this in reverse, where I already know the room. So what font size should I be using? I know that the furthest viewer is 480 inches. Using the rule of 150, that character height should be 3.2 inches, like I said before. Same formula, fill it in, cross multiply, divide, and I end up with 44. So that tells me that the minimum font size for this room, for somebody to read it all the way in the back, should be 44, which is a lot bigger than what a lot of people use. Again, you wonder why people in the back fall asleep. So let's say we already did a presentation. Well, you're screwed. Now, the way around this is use the zoom slider down the bottom right. In this case, about 400% ought to do it. Now, if you don't want to do any of this math and you've got access to the room ahead of time, here's a quick little cheat. You can create this little sheet for yourself, and it just says this is, whatever points. Boom, 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 boom. Go to the back of the room and see if you can easily read it. Don't strain, just so you can easily read it. Okay, I hope that was useful information for you. The same kind of math applies in a meeting room like this big, in a very small one, or on the billboard on the side of the road. So if you like my video, like, subscribe, share, blah, 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 etc., etc. And I will see you on the next AV Shorts.